Alright, welcome to day 5. This one is completing the square. Notice your homework assignment. Again, I won't check homework for today. I'll check it when I come back. Alright, let's begin. Here's your warm-up. Hopefully you got through it while your computer was loading. It is all quadratic regression. Fred jumps off a building that is 250 feet high. The table below shows his distance from the ground. So this is going to be our L1 values. This is our L2 values. And we're going to type it in our calculator. Alright, here's our calculator. Second plus 4, enter. That clears all the list. Stat, enter. Now I enter in my list. My L1 goes from 0 to 5, so 0. And now I'm going to do my next one, my L2, 250. And there's my list. So now I need to find my equations. So stat over number 5 for quadratic. Enter, enter, enter until you get to calculate. And now here it is. So again, I'm just going to round to 2 decimal places. Remember your A's go with your x squared, B goes with x, and C is by itself. So we're going to have negative 5.14 x squared plus 0.74, that's a 0, x. 248. So there's my quadratic regression equation. Now it says predict his distance from the ground after 3.5 seconds. That's my x value. So negative 5.14, 3.5 squared, 0. Just type it all in to the calculator, get your answer, and you get 187 feet, 0.91. So there you go, about 188 feet in the air. So there's your warm-up. Again, here is your objective. You have a spot for it on your paper. Students will learn the steps in completing the square in order to write equations in standard form. Whoops, not from. Form. And convert to vertex form. Remember our differences. Standard is ax squared plus bx plus c, and vertex form is y minus k equals x minus h squared. Alright, let's get started here. It's more of a, this one's going to get a little trickier as it goes. So we're going to learn the basic steps and then we're going to put it all together at the end. Okay, again, sorry, day 5. Again, test before winter break. Here's our first part, an investigation. It says, solve the following binomial problems and write in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c. We've done this already. So remember, when you have x plus 5, the quantity x plus 5 squared, it just becomes x plus 5 times x plus 5. Use your whatever method you like. So we have x squared plus 5x plus, not 10, excuse me, don't write that. Plus 25. Simplify, I have x squared plus 10x plus 25 as my final answer. My next one, x plus 7 squared is x plus 7 times x plus 7. X squared plus 7x plus 49. Again, if you're struggling with these, try it by yourself first. Pause the video. There's your equation. Okay, so now I'm going, what do you notice about the B and C terms? Take a minute to think about the relationship between the two terms. Okay, my B's, I'm going to circle them, or I guess I'll underline them in orange. And then my C's, I'll be in blue. Let's look at these a second. Let's just focus on number 1. We had an x plus 5 squared, right? So if we look at our B's term, it's 10, and our C term is 25. I noticed something. 5 plus 5 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25. Let's see if it works over here. 7 plus 7 is 14, and 7 times 7 is 49. So again, it's just the middle. So for the b term, you add, and for the c term, you multiply. It's going to work that way no matter what. Multiply. It's going to work that way no matter what. So here's your theorem. Your binomial square theorem. Now this is what it'll see in the book, and we're going to go through this a lot today. So x plus y squared equals, and then we can also have x minus a number equals. So this will be x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. And this will be x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Again, for our last one, we had x plus 5 squared. We got x squared plus 2 times x times 5. And then plus 5 squared. And when we simplified it, we got x squared plus 10x plus 25. Kind of cool. Works every time. Alright, so here's what it works. What we want to do is we want to make it a perfect square trinomial. Remember where your b values, we add them together and they equal something, and then that we take that number and we square it, and that's our c. So I'm going to do half of these, you're going to do half. Here's what I would do. I am given the b value, so that's what I have to go with. I'm going to divide my b value by 2. Because remember, it's adding to itself. So I divide by 2 and I get 25. This means it was 25x plus 25x to get that. So what's 25 squared? 625. So that's my c value. And that's what I would like type into my gridded response. My next one, 2. I do 30 divided by 2 and I get 15. So it would be 15x plus 15x. And what's 15 squared? 225. That's my c value. Again with this one, 24 over 2 is 12. 12 squared is 144, which is my c value. Alright, so see if you can try the rest of them. Pause it, and then I'm going to show you how to kind of go backwards. Alright, so now this one I want to write each of the following into a perfect square trinomial. So notice how they are in regular standard form, and I kind of want them to look like this now. X plus y squared, or x minus y squared. So there's two different ways to do it. I'll do the first way first, and then the second way second. First way, I can look at my b value. My b value here is 4, so I can do the same thing. Divide by 2, and I get 2. 2 squared, does that equal 4? Yes. So it's going to be x plus 2 squared. There it is. There's my final answer. I'll do it again over here. I take my b value, -6 divided by 2. I get -3. Is -3 squared 9? Yes, it is. X minus 3 squared. There's my answer. Notice this was a minus because of the minus here. Alright, here's the other way to do it. You could look at your c value. Now c value, instead of dividing by 2, I want the square root of 144, which is 12. Now can I have -12 plus -12, does that equal -24? Yes, so it's going to be x minus 12 squared. Same thing over here, I look at my c value. Square root of 36 is 6. 6 plus 6, does that equal 12? Yes, it does. There you go. Try the next 4 by yourself. Okay, so those were just kind of our pre-steps. Now we're getting into the real stuff. We're converting from standard form to vertex form. Remember, we've already learned how to convert from vertex to standard, but now we're going the opposite way. Just to remember, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. And vertex form is y minus k equals a and then x minus h squared. We're not going to have any a's today, okay, or on your test for our matter. I just made this a little bit of fill in the blanks just so that you could walk through it with me. The first step is you want to divide the b term the b term by 2. Again, this is what numbers you're going to use to create your perfect square trinomial, just like we did in the other problems. Then what you want to do is you actually want to write your perfect square binomial using the term you just found. So if you got 3, it would be x plus 3 squared, whatever it may be. All right, you want to move this c term to the other side, just to make it easier. See how that k is on this side? We need to move that to the other side so that's with that over there. And then you're going to square this number that you calculated, and this will give you your wanted c value. Add that new c value to both sides, and then you'll simplify. I'm going to do 2 examples with you for this. It can be a little confusing at first, but again, the steps, the math involved is very easy. It's just knowing when to do which step. So here we go. Let's try one. Rewrite y equals x squared minus 10x plus 12 in vertex form. Okay, first, I'm going to deal with my b. So I have negative 10 over 2. That means it's negative 5. So I am going to have x minus 5 squared. I know that right off the bat. But now I'm going to minus 12 from both sides because I want to move it. So I'm going to have y minus 12 equals this part. But now I need to square this number I just calculated. So what is negative 5 squared? 25. So I have to add that over here, because I'm going to have 25 over here when I multiply it out, right? So y minus 12 plus 25, that's y plus 13. And then I have x minus 5 quantity squared on this side. That's my final answer. Again, watch this if you need to again, just so that you can understand how I'm getting the steps. I'm going to do another problem with you. Let's do another one. If you want, let's move the c value first. Minus 45, minus 45. So I have y minus 45 equals x squared plus 12x. I want to simplify this part now. So that's where I do my 12 over 2 and I get my 6. Since it's addition. But now what is 6 squared? 36. So since I added that 36, it's in here. So I have to add it to this side. So I'm going to have y minus 9 equals x plus 6 quantity squared. There you go. So try this 4 more times. I have 4 more of these problems for you. And then if you want, you can start your homework when you're done, or finish your old homework, or whatever you need to do. But again, I'll check everything when I come back. If you finish this worksheet in time, then turn it in. If not, then you have homework, other extra homework to do. All right, see you next class.